Coming in at 5, 4, 3. Coming in at 5, 4, 3.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the
Coming in
Thirstday
at 5,
reviews.
4,
Today we're
3.
welcome. Special location. Welcome to the
Coming in at
Thirstday
5,
reviews.
4,
Today we're
3.
welcome. Special
Coming
location.
in at 5, 4, 3.
And Eli from Tonewood, which I've known you for like 3 or 4 years now. Eli from Tonewood. So yeah, we're over here in New Jersey. Eli from Tonewood. So yeah, we're over here in New Jersey. Eli from Tonewood. So yeah, we're over here in New Jersey. So yeah, we're over here in New Jersey.
Stop, close up the ceiling.
So yeah, we're over here in New Jersey.
Just in time. Just
remember,
stop, close up the ceiling.
So yeah, we're
Just in time.
remember,
Stop, close up the ceiling. Also, let us know where you're watching.
remember,
Stop, close up the ceiling. Let us know where you're watching. Let us know where you're watching. Sit tight, guys. If I ever come back here, let us know where you're watching. Sit tight, guys. If I ever come back here, I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that will let us know if the echo is still going on. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, you know what? Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, I think it was that. Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, I think it was that. Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, I think it was that. Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, I think it was that. Let me check the other cam too. I think that may have fixed it. Whoever commented on that, I had 2 cameras going. The echo is still going on. Well, I think it was that. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really bad.
That makes sense. They're finally open.
Well, we were telling people they're gonna open today.
Yeah.
It's like,
All right, there we go.
yeah.
Yeah, testing 1, 2, 3. No echoes now.
Try 360.
Try the 360 ounce.
Back on omnidirectional. Yay, we fixed it.
Fixed it. That was
All
lovely
good.
chat. How do we sound, guys? Sound good?
Thanks for not making us look like an idiot for an entire hour and a half.
It sounds like you're
Yeah.
catching like
Couple
the
minutes.
recorded noise or something. Like it doesn't sound like the shots are in the room. It sounds like it's been recording and it's replaying like this background noise. So
Well, what it was is we had the 2 web browsers going with the chats in them, and they were not muted.
gotcha.
So anyway, beer?
Yeah.
What are you drinking
Sounds
today?
like
I've got the pilsner here from
Good to
Tonewood.
go. Woo!
That was really stressful.
This is called the Shifty from Tonewood, and it's highly recommended. Yeah, so that's what I'm drinking.
What's going on with the shifty? What is the shifty?
Pilsner, Volkswagen. So a little bit of a twist on that. I feel like Volkswagen's got like a lot of noble character in it.
Yeah.
So we went for it on that. Lightly hopped. It's still within. It's not like a IPA or like a hoppy pilsner. It's still like a regular pilsner.
Yeah, totally.
Volkswagen and Pearl.
Did you just say IPL as an Imperial Pale Lager?
Yeah, man.
Maybe a Pale Lager?
Yeah,
Pale Lager.
Yeah.
I'm drinking that.
That's
It's a new one. Yeah. I was like, wait, I have heard of that, but yeah.
I'm drinking a pretty cool one. You want to tell them about
Yeah,
this one?
so when we were forced with closing the tasting room here, we thought about how we could best use our space. So we decided to get some fooders here. And Nick's drinking one of the first beers out of one of these fooders here.
So when he says fooder, he's talking about like a big
oak tank. You can see it in the
Right behind
background.
right there.
That one's clean beer, that's lager. But yeah.
There's a couple behind you that you just have to come here and check them out. So you guys are open for takeout, right?
Open for takeout. Here's a fooder beer coming at you.
Oh! You want to put that in the 30 can? Sure. Let's get
So
some.
it's Anthony.
I know it's a can, but you'll see the clarity can of the can.
Yeah, we are open for takeout, and we actually will be opening. This is exclusive news right now
Oh,
Oh yeah.
for the internets. We will be opening for in-house draft beers tomorrow.
Tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday the 2nd? April
the
2nd?
This is not an April Fool's show.
Yeah.
This is a real announcement.
Yeah.
and just remember, I installed the draft system, the new tower, right before the pandemic, so you didn't really get any use out of it for a whole year. So put it to good use.
Yeah, so we'll be pouring draft beers here tomorrow. We got a killer draft list. All of these saison projects, feeder projects that we've been working on, a lot of lagers, our hobby stuff, really start to get back at it.
What's your capacity you can have in right now?
50%. We're going to have a real nice outside seating. So if anybody was through, late summer, early fall last year, it's going to be kind of a similar vibe, similar setup,
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're stoked to get back at it.
So is the fooder beer sort of a new lineup for customers? If you've had these for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, we
it's been
haven't
available to the public.
poured this beer, so it's a bottle that we released about 2 weeks ago. But this is the first time we've been able to have this on draft.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be nice. I think it'll help people really appreciate it, because then they can grab a pint of this and get a feel for it.
I think it's a really good example of Britannomyces and just sort of like that farmhouse flavor. So definitely, if you guys are interested in trying out some mixed culture beers, this is on point.
Yeah, we're happy with that project.
That's
A
awesome.
lot of the projects we've been doing.
Yeah.
Excited to share with people.
Our resident mixed culture expert.
So do you think you would have done that, you would have went this direction without COVID, or was that
It
directly?
was really always in the plan.
Yeah.
This just allowed us to go at it a little bit faster, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it goes for everyone. It kind of sped up
Yeah, it had to make a pivot. Everybody had to pivot a little bit and change something. And, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did. 'Cause we had like our whole drafts side, like that's restaurants that pretty much shut down. So we had to really concentrate on, delivering stuff to people, concentrating on e-commerce. So yeah, we had to ship. You evolve with the days.
Yeah.
Speaking of pivot, should we grab a beer?
Yeah.
No, why would we do that?
Yeah,
All right, let me see.
All right, I'm gonna chug log this so we can get to your beers.
There we go.
We had a great response to the cinnamon beers, and we are super happy about it. Don't show it yet. And thank you for that. We obviously can only drink so many beers one night, so we're gonna try to get to as many as we can.
25 to 50 is like our limit.
What was the total count that you
I
had
have
so
a
far?
family. I need to get home.
I don't know. We're over 25. I mean, last month we had 1, and now we have 25. But unfortunately, despite what Nick is going to reply with, we're not going to drink all 25 tonight.
No, probably like 20.
We'll see.
So the first beer here, I'm actually going to talk about this one. The first beer that we're trying, and I noticed he's in the chat, is my good friend Nick Huron from, I think he lives in North Carolina now. Is that right, Nick? Put in the comments.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
But he used to be a magic buddy of mine. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a huge geek. Huge geek. I play Magic the Gathering. I play Warhammer 40K. I love board games. Like, I'm the biggest geek you probably know.
We were at the hobby store 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I don't even like people too much, but I love playing games. So as you can see on the bottle right there, it's pretty cool. He put all the beer information, but he also taped a magic card to it. So the beer name is kind of the magic card. What's the name on that card, Anthony?
The Black Lotus. Was it?
Blown.
It's not taped Black Lotus.
That is a blonde operative.
Guys, go ahead now for a second. What was the name?
It's a blonde operative.
Okay, and this is a coffee porter.
It sure is.
It got mailed, so the clarity. Do you want to get one in on the clarity thing? You got one?
Yeah, I got one.
The clarity is probably not the best.
It's not bad.
So it's a little shaken up, but color-wise, I like the color. It's got a nice brown color to it. Let's see.
It's not overpowering in the coffee notes, which I appreciate sometimes. Sometimes some of the coffee beers are just way too coffee-ish.
And Nick is a very new brewer too. He's only I think this is probably his third or fourth beer.
Oh, that's great.
He
Yeah.
sent it to us. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good beer.
Good job for third session for sure.
I do have to admit he messaged me a lot about the process of doing it, which was great.
You're a big coach. What was his biggest concern, do you think?
His biggest concern was, and you can message me if I was wrong, but getting the coffee in there to where it would mold with the beer properly.
That seems to be people's
And,
biggest concern.
How I suggested it was doing a cold brew
Nice.
and infusing it into the coffee that way.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to use grains or anything in the coffee, because you get bitterness from it. It can just overpower the actual beer. And this way you're able to kind of blend it how you want it to be. So I think that's how he did it. Hopefully, that's how I suggested it.
It's got a good malt background to it. It's not super dry, which you don't want a porter to be dry in general.
Coffee notes in there are great.
Yeah, I agree. I think the coffee's
So you do a coffee porter with Revolution, right?
Yeah, we do.
And that's Revolution's in Collinswood.
Yeah, Collins
Yeah.
University. Good bugs ours.
You want to give out some secrets on how you add coffee?
We used to do the cold brew method. We'd mix up some buckets. But almost 2 years ago now, we pivoted. So we are actually just holding in a bright tank.
Oh, cool.
Right tank. Yeah, as it comes over.
Like filter in a bag or something like that, or
Yeah, big bag.
Yeah.
Throw it in the bright tank.
That's cool.
Seems to me that's not too far off from a cold brew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conditioning tank, which is
Yeah,
cold.
yeah. I was skeptical because we used to do some coffee beers with a brewery out in Colorado. and we did that with the cold brew method.
Yeah.
It worked really well. But
Maybe for some of the newer homebrewers, like, what was his name? I'm sorry?
Nick.
Like Nick. Maybe just a really quick explanation of what like a bright tank is, maybe in a homebrew scale, if there is such thing.
yeah, so bright tank's like, I think I would equate it in a homebrew world as to like a secondary fermentation. I see that thrown around the homebrew community a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a keg before you put it in a keg.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Or the keg.
Yeah,
I mean,
or it could be a keg.
You know?
Yeah.
Keg if you have
I mean, you're
you're
carving
Two
in
kegs.
right
You could
tank.
do like 2 kegs. Like if you were to homebrew, I would say you could probably use like a keg, don't carbonate in it, and then move it into another keg,
Yeah.
and then carbonate.
So it's still cold product. It's still cold. Like bright tanks are typically chill well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it would just help get some of that yeast back on
Yeah,
the bottom.
that's what the bright tank's for. It's for letting hops and yeast settle out of here. But yeah, that's how we do it here now. But we did at one point we would make a cold brew, dump that into the bright tank, and then blend it as we go over. So
Nice.
if I was
Yeah.
home brewing, 100%, I would use the cold brew method.
But Nick, I gotta say it was a great beer.
Yeah, that's good beer. Awesome.
Yeah.
You, knowing like how new you are to this, you're doing really well and can keep up with it.
Do you know how we carbonated this?
I think it was bottle conditioned.
Yeah, well, that's
Did a great
fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah, it's
Good
one of the-
level.
Keep sending them.
yeah. He sent 3. We're gonna save 1 because it was a triple, and I want to save that for next week so it has time to settle a little bit. But the other one, the IPA did not make it.
Okay.
FedEx. He wrote fragile or fragile. Fragile. He wrote that on the box, and yeah, don't ever do that.
I love Italian beer.
They like hunt it around. They'll throw boxes on top of it. And that is one thing I do have to recommend to you, Nick. Your bubble wrap was just kind of saran wrap by the time it got to us. So maybe a couple layers of bubble wrap.
Yeah. I know they actually sell bottle bubble wrap that you can order on Amazon and stuff like that.
Yeah,
The whole
like a wine bottle type.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's going to be super expensive, but you probably won't. Have
It's worth it to get on this video.
That's right.
It's worth it.
Yes, it is. And support Amazon. They need it.
They need it.
They need that.
They're the only thing propping our economy.
Struggling small businesses.
Have you actually seen in the news lately? They're all talking about how Amazon delivery guys were like totally mistreated by they have like surveillance cameras on them.
Oh, they
Like,
are.
If they like go and like use the bathroom somewhere, if they're away from the car for too long, they get penalized for it. So they're pissing in water bottles. Can I say pissing online?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Exactly,
No, their bosses
It's your
are
internet, dude. You do whatever.
their bosses are robots. Your boss is a robot.
Yeah.
So there's other glasses on here.
Thank you, sir.
See if
So
we
I think-
can get
I
a
think-
little rinse out on
All
there.
right, thank you.
We gonna go for number 2?
I think we're ready for number 2. I
Cool.
think so.
Cool.
Well, I think that magic card was a nice touch too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Did
on
you
the
put that
bottle.
on the other bottles?
Yeah, he has one on the next bottle.
All right, cool. It's already like,
Yeah.
So I am just randomly grabbing things at this point. So you know.
I like random.
Oh, this is John Bursglove.
Oh, nice.
He's a good customer of ours. It was I think right over in Audubon.
Yeah.
I shouldn't disclose where people live.
John lives in Audubon.
His address is
123 Fake
666
Street.
Social.
What kind of beer is this, John?
You know, I didn't look at that yet.
It says cherry hot. So I imagine.
And given the red color, I'm gonna say it's yeah.
Oh, we do love raspberry beers.
Do we?
No, we don't.
I just want to make Jimmy drink a raspberry beer.
I really don't like raspberries at all.
The only person I know who doesn't like raspberry.
Raspberries and cherry, no offense, John, but
Cherry?
yeah, they taste like cough syrup.
It's like
Yeah,
the Cadillac of
bad
beer.
chocolate with cough syrup. I don't tell you.
Robo tripping?
No, I just thought it was wrong.
it's off a lot.
It's fine. It just costs a lot.
cool. So,
I did have extremely bad bronchial asthma, so thank you very much.
So,
Oh, wow.
should we talk about he wrote on what it is first?
Yeah.
So he used that Philly sour yeast.
Oh, beautiful.
So,
Awesome.
new yeast that was
Discovered in the graveyard in Philly
Yep.
by Matt Barber from U Sciences, who, through the grapevine, I hear he's going to be our next guest for next month.
that's
Throwing him on the spot so he doesn't show up.
Yeah.
Was the grapevine your phone?
Yeah, it was. He called me and I was like, well, we're doing this thing, and I told him we were doing it with Chris, and he's like, oh, I wasn't in on that. So
Rob Kirsten says he will die on Raspberry Hill, Jimmy. You should watch your words.
oh.
So we got ourselves a cherry bomb here.
Yeah, so we want to
Philly
switch over.
sour. I'm excited to try the Philly sour culture.
Just want to switch over to the Clary can.
I'm already on there.
Sweet.
So essentially, this is the way I understand it. This is a yeast that produces lactic acid as well. So we should be able to get fermentation out of
Are
this.
you using it?
Have to use it.
Yeah,
It's
It's a Saccharomyces yeast.
right.
It's neat.
Lactic acid producing
It's
Saccharomyces.
crazy. Yeah, I mean,
I'm very excited.
The clarity on that is super clear.
yeah.
Yeah, John usually knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, I really like this. Even
I like the color too.
like, it's not overpowering cherry flavor. It's there, but
Oh
I
wow,
like it.
that's it. It's got some tartness to it.
yeah, that yeast is crazy.
I got
It's
cut
like
on
my
my lips, tear me up.
I've had that yeast.
Yeah. So you haven't used it either yet?
Yeah, it's got a nice tartness to it. You can taste a little bit of like comes out a little bit buttery in the end,
Yeah.
and then it kind of goes away.
So, I mean, I don't know exactly. I mean, John, if you're in the chat, text, but I'm gonna gander that this is a 2-week fermentation.
Yeah, probably.
Like it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it produces that amount of lactic acid, and
I'm just-
like that fast.
Well, lactic acid is produced pretty quickly. I mean, if you have access to simple sugars, it's going to tramp that out pretty quickly.
Right. That's usually like lactic acid.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Lactic
this is an unknown, you know.
Well, Matt's
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Exactly.
We got word from John. It's a wheat beer. It was fermented with Philly sour and finished on cherry puree.
cool.
Cherry puree. Cool. Awesome.
And how old is it,
John, how old is it?
John? Let us know.
John?
How old is this?
Waiting on you, buddy.
I'm curious to see because it tastes like
pretty fresh.
it tastes pretty fresh.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's good.
It is
I like the nose on it.
There's no like this
Yeah.
yeast doesn't produce any like discernible like off flavors.
Yeah, it's wild,
Right.
man.
It's like clean sour beer. It's a kettle sour with not needing a kettle
Yeah.
sour.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
more complex than just dosing with lactic acid. You know, like
Or
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
I was wondering how could we go with a little bit more head retention or something like this.
well, I think
He's
find
pulling
that,
off a keg.
sour beers. That's probably one of the hardest things. I'm like having a sour beer with head retention, just because you have that super low pH and it just annihilates any sort of proteins that are going to help create that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So.
So this was made 2 months ago.
2 months? Yeah, it's still pretty fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, even for somebody that doesn't like cherry flavor, it's not.
Well, it's not like
That's not
overall.
awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely.
It's not too.
And it's also like for cherry specifically, like, or for those two flavors for me, it's the artificial. I
Oh,
really
sure.
hate.
Sure.
And it's so hard to find like real raspberry. Like I'll eat raspberries themselves, but that artificial raspberry flavor and the artificial cherry flavoring is just like that's just off-putting to me. And that's what a lot of people will use in these things, So
Not the
I
homie
think that
John.
acidity balances that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Takes it out of the medicine territory.
Yep.
And makes more of a fresh fruit territory.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
which is
exactly.
very pleasant. Awesome yeast. Awesome.
I think we might be in dire need of some glassware.
Yeah. I gotta give it up to the Tonewood staff behind us because they're like quiet as hell. I'm like,
There's like 68 people here. I mean, who knows?
yo, it's a full house. It's like a party.
Don't. There's not 68.
It's like a large gathering in a closed space.
It's like almost like it. Speaking of that, I got the reason why we were delayed this week is I got my second vaccination shot, and wow, my reaction was not good. Not good at all. My fever was up to 102 at one point. It was pretty steady at 101 for 2 days.
Now you're solid. You're protected.
Yeah, I'm
means you have a
protected.
good immune system.
I got like a shell around me. And that's why I'm good sitting next to Chris.
Yeah, I'd say
that's why I'm actually.
Yeah, I mean, it affects like people different ways. Like I was tired and lethargic, and then my father was fine. You said you had a little fever on it, so yeah. And you're taking the next day
I'm
off.
taking the goddamn day off.
Yeah.
No matter how you feel.
PT, baby, that's what it's for.
Hopefully you feel great and you can mow your lawn.
I hope so, man. Look at me.
I'm traveling to Chicago. I'm leaving tomorrow at 5 to go see my grandmother who's 97, and she's getting her second shot on Saturday.
Wow.
So I'm a little scared to see how that's gonna react with her.
I think she'll be okay. I hear it's
I haven't heard. I've heard older people not having much of a
Yeah,
reaction.
they
It's
don't
the
have,
weirdest
I
thing.
think, it's pretty good.
Oh, I hope so.
Shall we?
More beer.
Oh yeah,
More beer.
yeah. You're the beer go-getter.
They're awesome beers so far.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much I would change in either of those.
No, they're all pretty great.
Got no,
Oh, boy.
All right, well, there's that.
That sounds like
You're not gonna drink those two.
Did you guys hear that out in Radio Land?
Yeah.
This beer's a little foamy. I don't know why.
I wonder why it's so cloudy.
We open it and just.
got a stout here.
What's your back, Jimmy?
Stout from James Baker.
JB3,
Oh, James Baker. Yeah, James Baker's
good
part of
friend
the
of
Philly
mine.
Homebrew Club. He's been a customer for years.
He works at Punch Bowl.
Is he still working at Punch Buggy?
Is he at Punch Buggy?
Yeah, he works
Nice.
over at Punch Bowl.
He, I remember one time my van has 3-foot lettered beer on the top. And I was doing a job in Center City, and he comes running around the corner. It's like, I saw your van from the top of that building right there, and I came down to see you. It was the greatest.
Yeah, so it's,
You are
looks like it's a stout,
Yeah.
7.8%. So
Oh, little on the imperial side, maybe.
James Baker has flagged you, Jimmy. You are flagged.
He flagged me for that.
Is this the barrel aged one or the regular?
it didn't look. It didn't say.
It says stout at time, new, 13A.
Okay, cool. Yeah. There's the same beer as well, but it's also barrel aged.
Okay, cool.
I will
I'll give it to
say,
these sobers, man. Asian beer in barrels, like
Right?
it's crazy.
It's way too much work. I don't want to do that. Everyone asks me how to do it. I'm like, you put it in there, man. You wait. I don't know.
Awesome.
They probably got like 10 oak barrels in their basement.
Yeah.
so I would like to thank everybody for entering their beers. I mean, we literally got a whole lot of beers this time after asking. But if I may, make sure you label them a little bit better. Like all the labels are a little skittish, you know. So yeah, I guess you could use the BJCP bottle ID.
We got them at the store if you need them.
Yeah, when we have them at the store. So when you drop off the beers, you get Anthony for the
I'm just going to
clarity.
blame Anthony for that.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna blame Anthony.
Just because we don't want to blame you.
This is a stout,
We
right?
got a friend at Philly Homebrew, don't forget.
You smell the barrel. I think it's
No, this is not
This
barrel.
isn't the barrel?
Yeah, you made a fool of yourself.
It's like vanilla notes though.
There's a lot of vanilla in that. We got a little bit of
I
molasses.
mean, I haven't tasted it yet, but I would say the carbonation's a little low.
What's the ABV on this?
7.8. Yeah, it's a little flat. Flavors are good though.
Maybe a little, maybe, chocolate, like a lot of roast too. You know, like
It's got a nice body to it though. Like the mouthfeel on it is really good. I do wish that carbonation level was up a little higher.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to
that
give it
would
a little
help
bit of that bite.
Like some of the bigger imperial stuff, like in the 12% range, I don't mind
Oh,
being,
sure.
being not almost still,
Yeah.
you know, but like, yeah, this is, it can use some of that
But
carbonation.
like that Samuel Adams triple bock we had the other
That
day,
was still delicious.
that was horrible.
It was the worst
It
beer I've
was
ever
So bad. but it was like 12 years old or more.
1995.
1995. We drank a beer.
Well, yeah, last month
Last
it was the same average triple box for 95 over all over.
It was crazy.
I didn't bring a goofy beer this time. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I should have. I had so many things in my house.
That's a
Yeah,
26-year-old beer.
Yeah, it was
right?
tasted it.
Yeah, you can
The
tell.
cork broke off. We had to push it inside.
The glass was stained on the inside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, right? You gotta throw those away.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah, the consistency of milk.
It did.
It was really bad.
But back to this beer. So
This is
yeah,
better.
it's pretty decent. Like I said, the carbonation would be the only thing I'd really change about it.
I don't mind the carbonation on a beer like this. It's not a big deal.
I don't know, I'm getting more porter than
Yeah,
stout.
first sip for me was kind of ashtray, really roasted, but I'm warming up to it now, like a lot.
Like
And now
like Newport butts. Remember
No,
that?
no,
Remember that? That was
nothing like totally offensive or anything like that. I think just coming off of that last beer, my palate had to adjust, and now I'm kind of getting like some like nice grape flavors.
I got it.
And yeah, it's nice.
I think probably a problem like a lot of homebrewers might have is proper amount of oxygen and like pitching the yeast on beers to get higher like alcohol like this. I guess that might be a little bit.
I was kind of perceiving a little bit more of the sweetness for chocolate, but I can kind of see what you mean by the grape.
Yeah, I think it's that sweetness.
Do you go on about like the oxygen? Are you talking about like pre-fermentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yeah, having the
Yeah.
enough cell growth enough
Yeah.
to complete a fermentation of a beer that's.
Yeah, we've been like, I don't know, in the last, maybe 4 or 5 years, we've been encouraging customers to like double pitch or even triple pitch if they're trying to hit over 7%, 8%.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you're going to throw away say an 8-12% or 8 to 9% beer is going to cost you like $60 in ingredients and another $8
Yeah.
to insure yourself on actually getting full attenuation.
Yeah, like a beer on this, you can't improve fermentation.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You just.
But you can absolutely underpitch it and have like black meat liquor.
Yeah.
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 Depending on your setup, like getting that good shake in there, getting some oxygen in there really helps too.
Speed it up.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't think this is like super under.
No.
There's no head retention, but it is well carbonated. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, there's no head, but you know. It's all right.
That really comes down to personal preference.
Yeah.
I prefer a little bit more, not much more, just a little bit. I want it to have a little bit of bite on my tongue.
And also, like, that's another thing when you come to drop off beers for us, there's no problem. I mean, Anthony, you correct me if I'm wrong, but like, say you bottled it yesterday and you're dropping it off to the store and you don't say anything, we're going to put it in the fridge. And it's not going to be carbonated. But if you drop it off and say, hey, I just bottled this yesterday, bottle condition, it needs to stay out at room temperature for 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, we can put a note on that and probably leave it somewhere, and that's fine. But a lot of times that happens for our competitions. People really drop it off. Like, you guys are just going to leave it at room temperature for a while, right? Like, no.
Right in the
I'm trying
fridge.
to go right in the fridge as fast as possible.
James Baker said he lost a little bit of carbonation during transfer. He doesn't have a bottle gun. Was that a beer gun?
Yeah, that would do it.
Okay. Oh, so it wasn't bottle condition then.
Yeah,
Right,
that would
right.
definitely do it.
That makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sending it in, though, James. It is
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
One way to
Appreciate you.
keep that carbonation in the beer when you're using a gun is just to keep the pressure low when you're filling that beer, so it's not like making all that CO2 come out of solution.
And the bottle cold.
Full bottle,
Yeah.
hit it with a nice CO2 purge, and then like a nice slow fill is probably the best way to go.
Yeah. All right. Chug a lug, guys. We're moving right along. 6 beers. She said 6 beers.
Well, we're on what number are we on?
I'm done at
18?
6. That's 3.
I had a lot of margaritas last night.
Oh, God.
You're gonna get your miles in
I was
the beer fridge.
I was actually drinking a good amount of Tonewood last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, every time I come and drop stuff off at the store here, I always end up spending, $60, $70 here.
Oh, Venuto, what's up?
Yeah, this is an Oaklyn local, right?
Venuto, Dr. Venuto, man.
Sweet.
Yep, this is an Oaklyn local. So that's,
So Matt's helped us out here. Hopefully,
Local.
canning line back in the day. When
Oh,
we
yeah.
were catching cans, like
Yeah.
yeah, he lives right down the road.
You can already tell.
I'm really excited. I don't know
He's
that
the man.
I don't know that
Yeah,
I
Matt's awesome. Yeah.
He saw us and he jumped
Yeah, he
behind the
jumped
bar
behind the bar.
and washed dishes for us.
Yeah.
Dude's a fucking legend.
Well, I hope his beer's good.
I mean, I've seen him walk around the neighborhood picking up trash with the sticks like during COVID, like in his wife or whatever.
Yeah,
So-
great people.
Yeah,
Sounds like a nice guy.
We love.
his beer's gonna suck though after all this.
Yeah.
After all this.
No
I don't know
comment.
you, man, so I'm gonna rip this beer apart.
I don't know, man. It's looking
It
pretty.
does look
He says a Kolsch, and it looks like.
Oh, it's a Kolsch,
It
my
looks
favorite.
pretty
Get that in
glittery.
the clarity can.
It's a small bottle, so.
Do the first pour in the clarity can, 'cause that was a great.
What? Oh yeah, good. There you go.
That's why I wanted to know.
Oh man, I'll take a short pour, and then you take the 30 cans.
I was like, I need to drink that.
No, not you.
That's a good looking beer. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess I mean,
Kolsch.
12 ounces, 5.5% North Star Kolsch.
Okay.
12 ounces, a little shy for 5-way split, but
Yeah. So I mean, the producer can get shafted
Oh, yeah.
a few times.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta drive home, guys.
He is the one controlling the cameras, so he doesn't have to drink all of them.
That's nice. I mean, that smells like Kolsch.
Spot on.
Yeah.
The nose is like perfect.
I mean, I know you too, Nick. The Kolsch is probably my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
soft beer.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jaffel Kolsch,
Yeah.
all day long, every day. Just
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
down that shit.
It's
Crush
the,
it, baby.
it's and as for home brewers, it's really easy too because you don't actually have to do a full lagering schedule with it. The yeast is a little bit more forgiving, so you can get lager-ish notes, but without having to build it.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I want to make love to your brewing
Yeah.
process for this.
Good work.
I want to steal it.
I'm gonna put this in my mouth.
I had a little black speck, and that wasn't from him. That was from the washer, the glasses.
Yes.
Really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I like that. That's
good
perfect.
job. Stay awesome.
Spot on Kolsch. I hate when people call them Kolsches when they will use like a standard ale yeast and stick to it kind of. That clearly is
Yeah.
Kolsch yeast,
Yeah.
which is the most important thing. You have to use that.
It's the only thing you have to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that and like no roasted malts and like you have to use Kolsch.
You
That's
got
pretty
to
much
use the
Color
Kolsch
clarity
yeast.
nailed that too.
You can't make a Kolsch without Kolsch yeast.
brewed a Kolsch yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love it.
Yeah.
All 5
I mean,
gallons.
Kolsch
of
is
it.
like on a homebrew scale. I mean, anybody feel free to jump in, but I think ultimately you can ferment it at 68 degrees, and then just do a good cold crash at the very end before bottling, or
That's very
or kegging or whatever, just to really drop everything out. So that's like
Bottle it and keep it cold.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
yeah.
Pour it off of the sediment, like
Yeah.
you can get pretty rusty with it and still make a really good clean beer.
It's good
Yeah,
advice.
that was bottle conditioned too. So
Wow.
So yeah, I mean,
That's an impressive beer.
the way that packed down, I'm gonna guess he used
Even his label's great.
yeah.
That's like the classic homebrew way of doing it, because they're just delabeling. It's just
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Done. Clean bottle.
Name, style, ABV.
What's the ABV on this Kolsch?
5.5.
Like a killer beer.
All
Yeah.
right, a little high, but it's still good.
Yeah, we have not hit a dud yet. I'm pretty happy.
That's one of the best homebrew Kolsches I've ever had. Actually, that's the best homebrew Kolsch I've ever had.
You wait. You said you were
No,
gonna
I'm
beat him up.
telling you, man. What I
You
said.
said you were gonna beat him up.
Yeah, you
Oh man. That is, can we?
No, it's
The post editing.
That is my beat up right there.
good people, great
Yeah,
beer.
great beer, man.
Killer.
Thanks, Matt.
Keep brewing that one.
All right.
And you know where I live, so drop some off at the porch too.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Drop some off the Porsche and put a label on it saying
Not the Porsche. I don't have a Porsche.
the Porsche, and label it for Nick. And then put "fuck Jimmy" on it too.
Definitely get that on there, man. All right.
Oh wait, my grandmother may be watching this. I should watch my potty mouth.
Forget Jimmy.
Forget Jimmy.
Fruit Jimmy.
I'll just say I'm loving. I don't know what you're pulling out here. I am loving that we haven't drank any IPAs yet.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's yeah.
I've noticed a cool down on homebrewers with IPAs.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'm really digging it.
Yeah, IPAs were always like good to me, but they were never my favorite style. Like lagers styles were always my
I
favorite.
think it's really tough.
Oh boy, we're gonna have to do some.
Let me see.
We're gonna have to do some googling. So this is John Curtis. John Curtis in Philly, and it is category 20A. Anybody? BJCP?
Off the top of my head.
No, I
20A.
judge beers, but I'm not officially a judge.
Just following up on that Kolsch conversation too. It's kind of like if you know that style. as
American
well,
Porter.
You're already kind of at
American
the advanced
Porter.
level
American Porter.
American Porter.
to even want to brew that beer. So that's cool.
We'll be brewing our Kolsch here at
Somebody
Tonewood pretty
look
soon.
Oh, yeah?
That comes nice.
That's good to hear,
It's
man.
great.
Background does look
Yeah.
good. Hey, what do you guys think of the background? Everything look good?
Yeah, you got that big old photo behind you?
Almost went through
So what was this again?
American Porter.
American
Yeah.
Porter.
Is that just American Porter? Oh, yeah. My bad.
My bad.
I know, I'm
I'm not the camera guy.
It is pretty light to me.
Yeah, I would say
More like a brown ale. Or
I'd
brown
be surprised if this was put in front, which it was, and somebody told me it was a porter, which it was. So,
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
What would you think it would be?
Maybe like an English brown ale.
Yeah.
Brown ale.
Definitely brown.
I mean, there's
Go say goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute.
Peace out.
See ya.
Come on.
Bye.
See you guys.
Thank you, everyone. You're amazing.
they're all ready for everyone tomorrow. If anyone wants to come by for a beer, we'll be here. Team's got
This
place
staff is
all
ready to
cleaned up,
go.
ready
And
to
remember, tip them well, god damn it,
Thank you.
or I'll come find you.
Yeah, I mean that's like there's a shop called a brown porter, which is a lighter porter, but I mean that's
Yeah, this is a bridging mile.
If,
yeah, exactly.
If you
Yeah.
close your eyes and put your nose, would you say porter?
No.
No, I smell a lot of butter.
A lot of diacetyl.
I'm getting that.
So I'm diacetyl blind, so
Sorry,
I don't smell
John.
it.
So you
I
might
got,
be good then.
caramel.
Huh?
You might like it then.
It's not bad for me.
Oh yeah, especially get more diacetyl now.
Well, that's a butter bomb.
Interesting.
So I think we
Do we want to have the conversation about diacetyl and why it occurs? And
Yeah, let's
Yes.
Sorry.
You want to take it off?
Yeah.
Go for it.
That was good.
So it's basically an incomplete fermentation. Diacetyl gets produced during the fermentation, or BDK is how we describe it here in the brewery. You won't notice it in the beer at all. You'll be like, your beer's great, ready to package. You'll package it, get it cold, and then a week after your beer's cold, this will pop up. So basically, the yeast needs the time with your beer to reabsorb BDK so that it does not express itself in the finished product. So time is the answer here. You can do this as homebrewers, super simple. We here at the brewery, the way we test our beers for BDK, we just heat up a sample under 80 degrees. We'll take a little flask. Use like a little glass here. Take a pot of water, heat your water up 180 degrees. Put your glass in there. Get that nice and warm for about 5 minutes. Pull it out. Put a cap on it. Let it cool down to room temperature. Smell your sample. Have a sample also like that it's not been heated, so that you can compare the two. If the heated sample smells like butter, you still have BDK, you let your beer sit in your fermenter a little longer, and it'll clear itself up. It was nothing that like was done wrong otherwise. It's just
It needs more time for that yeast to reabsorb that diacetyl. And like, that's a lot when you say secondary fermentation, in a sense, that's kind of what the secondary fermentation target was for homebrewers, is kind of getting it off your main cake, but still giving it time with the yeast
still
to
at
reabsorb.
temperature.
Yeah. So that's kind of why, like, the secondary fermentation homebrew is a lot of times a little different than a secondary fermentation in a large brew.
And I would imagine at a homebrew level, when you don't have a lab, you're not knowing how much yeast you're pitching, whatever.
Yeah.
It might take more time for the beer to go through that stage of diacetyl clear up or decay.
Yep.
Especially if you're using like a first gen yeast.
Exactly. Yeah.
We had to try that technique because, like, so me and Nick did
We do it with all of our beers here. Like that is, we do not let a beer
yeah,
go
right,
through
right,
the cellar without decay.
right.
So if you do a test and you get diacetyl, or if a homebrewer was to do a test and he's supposed to get diacetyl, what about temperature or bubbling CO2 or anything?
No, we don't touch it.
Keep fermentation temperature. Perfect.
So me and Nick did the off tasting, the C1 off tasting course, and that Vault Brewing.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, we did that, and I remember sitting at a table with like 16 people, and the diacetyl, when the diacetyl dose came out, and everybody at the table was like, "Whoa!" And I was like,
This is awesome.
It's the best beer I've ever had.
so it's like I wonder.
Some people can be blind to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm diacetyl blind. I can, if it's really bad, I can taste slickness on my tongue.
Yeah.
But I wonder if I did that, like the heating process that you talked about, maybe I would notice a little bit more.
Yeah, you can have one next to each other and you can probably smell the difference.
And sometimes it's like super.
Yeah, this one, what is that butter bomb? This one isn't like
It's not
super
it's not
crazy
offensive.
bad.
Like I've had worse, like even from professional breweries.
Yeah.
I remember a victory once that was their Oktoberfest. It was a long time ago.
I'm like super sensitive. I can pick it up. Like it's just like
You were on that one for
one
sure.
of those
Yeah.
flavors that just for me it just I don't know. I can smell it right
Yeah, no,
That's good.
I'm pretty sensitive to it also.
Let's see
Yeah,
what.
otherwise, like, it had a nice roastiness to it, but it's hard to get past that buttery flavor sometimes. So that's the main feedback. In your color, you want to go a little bit darker, I think, if you're going to go porter. I mean, that's all personal, but true to style, I think porter to me is definitely a little darker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What's that?
Yeah, we're gonna start going downhill from here.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, God.
Is this actually from Mudhead?
No, I don't think
That's
so.
Oh, Mudhead.
Jimmy?
Yeah, take those with. I need a little bathroom break.
Yeah.
Bathroom break.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So me and Nick have catheters in. That's how we say it. These guys are not professional podcasters or video casters. You just gotta sit here and hold on. Just get with it.
So the look that will look like we're concentrating and staring one direction.
It's like that kid in the
We're
pool.
just peeing.
It's that kid in the pool.
Yeah.
Like,
Been real,
that kid's definitely peeing.
real
You
quiet.
ever do that? I remember when you go to the pool, like you look at the little kids, and as soon as one looks like he's concentrating, yeah, you stay away from that part.
Just floating real slow.
Unless you're cold, then just go cuddle right up next to him.
Oh, gross.
You love people though.
So Mudhead Brewing, Troy Spence.
Oh, okay.
You know Troy?
Yeah, Troy's a good guy.
Is it,
He's been coming here since we opened.
I know. I know a Troy. I don't know his last name.
You
But
probably
it's,
Troy.
is it Nurse Troy? Works in the medical industry.
I don't think so.
Different Troy.
Troy the brewer.
Well, I guess okay.
I mean, I don't know. That's rude. I shouldn't assume Troy's not a nurse. I shouldn't assume he's not a nurse, but I don't think he is.
Well, yeah, I mean, so this is a golden quad, which is a good style of wine. Well, hey.
Yeah,
I've never heard of golden quad. I mean,
sounds like a Belgian font to me.
Yeah, usually-
Belgian yeast here, right?
one would put so. Yeah.
Belgian yeast and a lot of booze.
And it's AU.
Some nice spices.
AUXXXX. That's
Oh my
that's
God.
one more X than the hardest porn. So,
Wow.
That's a lot of X's.
Oh, you're watching the wrong
I'm
pool,
not-
dude. There's
Yeah,
barely any X's.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's barely any X's, man.
is there a 5X one?
I'm sure there is.
This
They
is
call that
11%.
stuff.
What do you want?
11%.
Stuff.
If you gotta ask, you're not ready.
That's too real. This is 11%, and it's pouring like it's 11%. You can see it's like syrupy.
I'm surprised at the head retention, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, usually,
Yeah.
right. Good old Phantom. That Phantom in Belgium had that ropey syrupy. Got some ropey beers.
That's good. That's what you want.
So, what are you guys talking about? What's ropey mean?
So Rupee,
Idiococcus, right?
You're asking that like you don't know.
I have no idea. I've never heard of this.
Oh wait, are you serious? You're asking for that.
Maybe
It's a nebulous term. Explain to the viewers what ropey is.
Nobody really knows what it is. It's kind of like this weird thing that happens with the Idiococcus bacteria.
I mean, I would just say don't do anything that has the word deviation. Really?
No, it's how you can get that real sour.
I did.
But yeah, I was kind of asking.
With Philly sour yeast, clearly.
But I mean, essentially,
It's another
we're talking
level.
about like the viscosity becomes more like a jello than a beer, and sometimes bacteria can do that to a beer.
Yeah.
Eventually, it cleans up and becomes less viscous, and you get a lot
Eventually,
of
it
nice
makes really
acidity
great
and
flavors. That's what I
exactly.
hear.
exactly.
They
We got
got
some beers for the first time in some of our fooders here that are Ropey.
Yeah, when I hear
Oh,
that, I
did you?
get jealous.
We're like,
You know,
oh,
I wish I
God,
had more
what is
ropey.
going
I love
on?
ropey foods.
don't they also call that sick?
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Sick,
sick
the
beer.
beer is sick, and eventually it's better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's funny. I was
This is not
actually,
Ropey. This is
I was just talking to actually Nick Lazaro about it earlier today, but I was recommending a good next level read for him was the good old Wild Brews book.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Wild Brews book is great. It's
And
a
then-
really good one.
Yeah, I remember it went out of print at one point, and it was like $100 for the book.
X.
Yeah, that's hot.
X.
It's now back down to like $12 the book. So
What
It's
is
great.
the ABV on this beer?
11. What's it taste like? 11. It's not. It's
So,
There's two Troy Spences in the chat. I can't tell who's
There's
who.
true Troy
There's two Troy Spences.
oh my God, there is, and they're fighting over it.
You're seeing
They're like, I'm Troy Spence. No, I'm Troy Spence. That's great.
So there's so many people watching this that we have two people with the
With the same name, apparently,
and their name is Troy Spence.
yeah.
That's
So-
how many people we're pulling into this
We're-
right now.
So,
Yeah, we got
so
lots
what,
of it.
what do we think of the aroma on this here?
What is this class? Is this what do they
It's called a blonde quad.
Yeah, Blanc
So it's a
No, a
quad,
golden quad. I'm sorry.
Golden Quad.
I mean, that is golden.
Yeah, I go like barley wine on this.
Yeah, that's what I was
sure.
saying.
But it's got Belgian notes to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not as much as I was thinking it would have.
Right. Yeah.
I don't get many notes.
But
But man.
Really?
I
Yeah,
don't.
no, I get
I get
like
malt and
Plum.
Americanized. Yeah, plum's good. But do you get like spices, like clove, coriander?
I get a little.
Spice.
Yeah, I get a little bit of clove.
Yeah.
I mean, like in comparison to an American ale yeast.
a lot of molasses.
Absolutely.
A lot of molasses.
It's a little sticky.
I mean, is that, I wonder, is that the candy
It's a lot of
shop?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a
I don't know
sipper.
if that's
It's a sipper, you know.
And whichever Troy that brewed this, was there a finishing gravity on the bottle?
No.
It's still going.
It tastes a little sweet to me. A lot. It tastes like it didn't really do its job.
I mean, at 11%, it's almost. I think that's about. Because that's
Terminal gravity.
You're in
on
the
a lot
big.
of fucking
Yeah, you're in the
yeast,
big
yeah.
territory at 11%. Clearly, I mean, you can use like dextrose and things like that to get that ABV up and keep it dry. So, I mean, I would say that would be an idea. I don't know what simple sugars they used in this beer, or it was just strictly malt. Because if it's just strictly malt, then yeah, clearly it's
It had to have been candy sugar in this, you can taste it.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I think it goes back to like earlier when I was talking about a little bit higher with the elevated gravities as a home brewer and having enough yeast because
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like like we're like a yeast factory here at a brewery and like I don't know how you could possibly get enough yeast to finish a fermentation at 12%.
Yeah, it's a ton, yeah.
You would have to have a serious
In a 5-gallon batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably get in like
Big boy.
2 years.
Oh, I think Kavike
I mean, I
could
did
be
a
very
I did a
aggressive.
mead, like,
you know?
Some yeast
Yeah,
is better,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
I did a mead like 2 years ago, and I used 1116 yeast.
No, it was 11-18. I was there.
No, that's 1116.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because I don't like 1118. I don't like that champagne yeast. Ever since Tommy made that blueberry mead with 2 different types of yeast, but it was I can't remember how. I think I used 12 pounds of honey and 5 gallons. So that's a gallon of honey and 4 gallons of water. I mean, it was crazy. And I ended up pitching, I think, 20 packs of yeast to it. Like the normal dry that you would pitch one for a 5. I pitched 20 plus a ton of nutrient because I knew like that's not.
Well, you need nutrient with
Yeah, with meat, yeah, because of the honey.
Nutrient with everything.
It's never a bad idea.
And I ended up getting that thing up to 18.5%.
Wow.
Are you talking about the one we made for the class?
Yeah, it's the one. It was the first and only meat I've ever made.
Yeah, it was all right. It was like a dessert wine.
What's
kind
your
of.
attitude on that?
Too much
a lot
and too
and
much.
A lot.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
A lot and a little, I should say.
So you're saying always use nutrient. Real quick before we go on, like, what is your recommendation for nutrient? Because I'm sure everybody's.
I don't know what's available for
Fermax, Stap,
Fermate K, Fermate
Something
A.
with zinc. I
Yeah.
mean, really, there's a lot of products out
That's
there.
all of them, I think.
You just want some zinc.
Yeah.
Follow the dosage rates that those guys give you.
Well, I mean, what do you guys use unless keep it secret? Is there because we can order the same stuff as pros and bring
I'm
it
on the
back
spot.
down.
I'm on the spot.
I mean, we what is the product?
Yeast-X?
Yeast-X. That's
Yeast-X?
Yeast-X.
Yeah, that's probably the same as Fermax, then, really.
Yeah, and they're basically,
But we can look it up.
like you said, they're basically adding zinc to that,
Yeah.
which is
Zinc and dead yeast.
yeah.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Essentially, the fermentation pathway goes from glucose to acetaldehyde to ethanol, and that acetaldehyde to ethanol is you need zinc to make that
That's
happen.
the struggle.
That's
Yeah.
the struggle.
Yeah.
And if you don't have zinc, you'll have that acetaldehyde, which is like that green apple, and it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's under attenuated,
Mhm.
not fermented out,
There's a little bit of that in this beer.
and there's just not much zinc
It's not done.
in soil where barley is grown, and that's why that's not a typical mineral that's in your beer, and that's why that addition is needed.
So yeah, when you're going for large beers, especially something like this, you always want to make sure super high yeast count, overpitch, buy more yeast than you think. It's just going to help
As much
out,
as you can.
and and get your nutrient
From
up.
us.
Also,
local homebrew shop.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like sometimes, if I'm working
You
in a
guys have
shop,
imperial yeast.
yeah, I feel like if we got a new brewer and I'm explaining that, it depends on the customer. But sometimes I'll be like, if you're trying to go for 6% or over, you should double pitch your yeast. And I feel like some people think that I'm trying to upsell them, but no, I'm trying to ensure that you actually are making a good beer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be night and day.
I mean, that was always our philosophy, is like, we want to make sure you're going to make a good beer, because if you don't,
You're not a customer.
you're not going to come
You don't
back.
want to. I suck at this.
But yeah, I think we should move on. Keep them rolling.
Fred,
We got about
Fred
a half hour
requested.
left.
What time is it?
It's 8:30.
Yeah, cool.
Fred requested that you drink one of his beers.
Oh yeah,
The one and two, the red one with the red.
Did I hear
is it-
requested that we
Yeah.
Fred Schultz.
Fred,
Schultz.
Fred, if
What's
it's in
up,
our
Fred?
box right there, we will. We didn't bring all the beers just because we're
No,
not
we
going to be able to drink. Oh, we brought all.
Yeah, they're all.
Oh, they're all here. So yeah, we'll find one for you, Fred. And
That's that paper I was
we'll
talking
drink it. And then if you have multiple beers, we'll save the other one to throw at your house because you live around the corner.
about. We dropped off 4 beers. I brought 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Got him?
Is this one?
That's not Fred's beer. We're not picking favorites.
Say McDonald's.
yeah.
He's in the chat.
I know he's gonna be next, but this one I pulled out, and it was called Wilder Woman, and I wanted to
Oh, the wilder one.
I believe that guy, it's a Charlie Papazan recipe, to go back to Charlie.
Oh, is it?
And he modified it a touch, which may or may not be a good idea. We don't know.
Can you
We'll find out.
So this recipe is from the Joy of Homebrewing.
It's the classic, baby.
Oh, look at
And
that.
then after this spread, we'll
We've just come full circle here.
I know.
yeah, we were just talking about this before the game.
I'm excited. It's like,
We can check.
No, he modified it though, so
Ooh, it looks nice.
How did he modify it?
more hops, I assume.
That makes sense.
modernized it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Instead of like 2 ounces for 5 gallons, he actually used like 5.
I gotta say, I do love head retention in that.
Yeah.
that looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
Carbonation's good.
I love
baby.
I love when a beer gives me good head.
Yes.
Take that how you want it.
It looks great. It looks like a classic IPA right there. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Is this an IPA or an APA?
IPA?
The nose, I'd say.
There's definitely an I there.
Okay, no, I was just curious, man. I can't see it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's got
that
a
is
traditional
good.
IPA nose to it.
Really? I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying traditional, like English
Traditional
style.
English style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not like American.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm back.
Not new school.
Yeah.
It's got that bitterness to it.
Traditional English IPA or like American Pale Ale-ish, you know.
That's not bad at
The
all.
racing is great on the
Yeah, it's
You know what?
beer
Like,
with best head we've had. Yeah.
I do
Even if
miss.
not brew it.
I do miss like bitter IPAs. I like bitterness.
West Coast,
And a
baby.
lot of people have gotten to the new style IPA where it's just a bunch of like a hot bomb and late edition, where it's very aromatic but not as much bitterness to it.
Yeah, I mean,
I miss it.
Yeah.
I started my brewing career making, that style of beer.
West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been getting back to it.
I appreciate that.
A little bit more tank space we've had here, especially with the new facility, we'll be able to like bring that into our repertoire because I think it's a beer that's like missed by
Yeah.
people too. And,
For
like,
sure. It's a
Yeah.
classic.
I want to
Classic
drink
style
a
now.
lot.
Yeah.
So like as much as other people want to drink, I want people to drink.
I'll buy them.
Yeah, I had Sierra Nevada the other day. I was like, I've had this in like 15 years. This is great. I forgot why everybody buys these.
Sierra Nevada is like that
It's
classic.
just a damn good beer,
I
man.
buy those beers all the time.
Yeah. Give me a torpedo, man. That's fine.
I don't know if we said this is, I think maybe you said that this is from Mario C.
Thanks, Mario.
So yeah, thanks Mario.
This is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
I think it's true to the style of what it is. If this is what you're going for, this is very traditional IPA. The color is even. I mean, color you can even go a little bit darker on with caramel.
Don't.
Well, remember you're also drinking out of a very thin glass.
Don't listen
Yeah.
to Nick.
Versus
Don't
the-
listen to Nick.
Like it's not a necessity.
No, that's perfect.
No more caramel.
No mas.
I mean, I wonder what amount of
head
like.
retention.
Well, actually, Mario's in the chat. Mario, if you have any details about this beer, we don't have the recipe. We'd love to know a little bit.
I
Everyone
wonder
seems to enjoy
how
it.
much dextrin malt did you use in this to get this? Head?
Yeah, its head retention is amazing.
Yeah,
It's still going.
In all of ours.
yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
it's like an Energizer bunny.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah,
This is first year brewing.
good job. That's awesome. Yeah,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
brewing a classic and not just jumping right into the New England IPA class. You know.
I love that, ladies.
There's
Look at
something
that.
really satisfying on the palate too. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of a flavor
That bitterness.
that palate.
Yeah, it's clean.
The way you perceive it,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a flavor, but it's kind of like a cleansing and just like a really good template for a fresh beer to come in.
Hey, can we get you to stick your head into the camera for a minute? And,
Yeah, you gotta go real deep.
Show them the scar.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
No,
he said
no
he said
scar.
no.
The scars.
Jake's who has been helping us out here just compound fractured his arm and had some pretty gnarly surgery. So,
Yeah, man.
So we were like, wash our dishes.
So you're like, yeah, you got that new arm again, you know.
Good exercise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny if
it's physical therapy here to help us out.
if anybody's like still like tuned in from like the early days that knew us from back in the day. Jake drives Nick's old Tacoma.
Oh, that's right.
Taco, dude.
Taco. I had to give that car up because when we first started doing the tap service stuff, I would have to drive from bar to bar early in the morning cleaning taps, and the shifter actually made my knee fucked up. Like it would hurt for days because I was driving around the city shifting all day long. And I go to Jimmy, he's like, I gotta get a fucking automatic, man. I need an automatic.
I think would you sell it to him for like $100?
$500
and a keg of beer.
And we both went to Walmart and bought Nintendo Switches with them.
Yeah, I didn't even take the 500 for myself. I didn't even have it to Jimmy about Nintendo Switches.
And Nick was like, I was like, I think I know somebody will buy that truck. I was like, how much do you want for it? He's like, $100. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we can get more than that.
She went straight to
At least get a Nintendo Switch out.
There wasn't anything really that wrong with it. I mean, there was some like
Clearly,
4 years later,
It's still running. It's still running.
4 years, perfect.
I mean, there's been some, some costs associated with like keeping it going, but like, nah, man, it's still running.
But that's
talking friends.
Mario, good beer, man.
Tacoma for life.
yeah, no, yeah.
It's a hell of a truck,
I missed this West Coast IPA.
Oh man, look at Fred with the details.
Sweet.
Look at this guy.
beer submission.
Mario said he popped up the
More pills.
Cascade. That's all he did.
All right, Fred, here we go.
Ultra style Pilsner.
That I was curious. That's why I picked that one.
What's so ultra about it?
You fucking tell me.
We're going to find out. Man, the language is turning
Man, he
out.
gave us all the details.
That's fine. Oh,
Mashed at 148 for 3 hours.
Oh,
Fred's y'all know Fred. He's a madman.
Time there, Fred.
Would you take a nap?
He wants it on purpose.
I'm pretty sure this
Did
is.
you smoke, Fred?
I'm pretty sure this is just like Michelob Ultra that he rebought.
Maybe that's what he was going
Like,
for.
look at that.
Oh my god.
Clarity Cam, get it on there.
You know, you laugh at this, but somebody actually came in today and asked me, how can I make the lightest possible beer?
Oh, yeah,
So
no,
Fred,
This is like a 3-hour match to me.
So without looking,
this is an ultra.
You can tell it's a 3-hour mash because there's no head on that.
You said ultra pilsner?
There's
Ultra.
just
Ultra
it's
style.
so
like ultra
it's
light,
so
right?
thin.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what is the style of this? What is it advertised as?
Sport pills?
Straight up pills?
Sport pills.
Sport. I'm gonna guess that means
It's
like
literally.
It's a light beer.
It's
like tailgating kind of.
It's a Michelob Ultra.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
No, they make like light, low calorie beers for people who run now. It's like it's a market.
And Fred, if
So
you're
take a jog and bring this with you.
if you're in the chat, I'm gonna say that you used and like I could almost bet that you used probably 15 to 20% rice.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's
can
right.
smell it.
It does say, yeah.
Oh, he's got a whole. We don't need to even ask him. He's got a whole.
Oh, he's got a book there.
Yeah.
You
Say rice on it?
can smell it. You can smell like the sweetness of the rice.
Yeah, but rice, and rice also negates color.
Wheat and rice.
Yeah.
It takes color away.
So unique.
Pilsner.
There's no malt in this?
No, wheat and rice.
That's interesting.
It's
I thought it kind of came off as a little meaty.
I can't tell you the last time I had, if ever, a Michelob Ultra.
I assume this is what it
You
tastes.
can taste the rice.
Nick also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what he means by
This flavor.
2/3 of the brew.
Very interesting.
No, it's
It's wheat and rice. That's a cool beer.
you can definitely taste a lot of the rice in there, a little bit of the wheat.
Yeah.
Weinstefan and yeast, so that's cool.
Well, Fred's in the chat. I'm going to ask him to give us a little
Shit,
info.
I'm bleeding in the arm.
So
Got
maybe
napkin,
like
please,
you brewed
Jake?
a high gravity beer
Jake.
and then like diluted it down with water. Is that what that means? 2/3 of brewing liquid throughout the process,
I asked Fred to give us some
and
info.
then 1/3 cold in the fermenter.
Say coal?
I don't understand that, but
What do you do, Cole?
That's
Lager?
If anything, if there's like, I mean, it's great.
I mean, I know he said made macro style, so I know like the big guys they'll brew high gravity beer and
It's
then
watered down.
water back to it.
Oh, right, yeah. Does it taste under attenuated ports for what it is?
I don't think so.
I don't think
You
so.
don't think so?
No, I mean I don't really taste any sweetness. I smell the rice, which gives me the
Yeah.
perception of sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't taste
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's
Yeah,
sort of,
right. It's I kind of like sake.
Yeah, it's so kind of like sake. Yeah,
And I have not.
Throw some
heard
shrimp
the
in my mouth.
Cold water addition to a fermenter. That is new to me.
Oh, so that sounds like that's what he
I mean,
said.
so I think it means he
Probably just had more hops.
blended it down
So he did like a high gravity brew.
pre-fermentation. So he probably did a high gravity brew, blended it down pre-ferment, and then like after the ferment, he added more water.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. That is interesting.
I can't say that
I don't know what that would do, right? Like,
I mean, it would dilute it and add volume to it, right? So if you're coming in
In the
like
max,
10%,
right?
well, this was in conditioning.
Oh, I see.
You know, a lot of those macro breweries, your Bud Lights, your Budweisers, they're doing high gravity brews. They're brewing like a 10% beer.
Yeah.
And go ahead and Google me and correct me on this, and then they're going to water that down.
Right.
So they're able to produce a lot more volume that way.
Like Tito's vodka.
I don't know how Tito's does it, but they water it down or something.
Well, no, I mean, a lot of craft distillers for their vodkas, they'll buy ethanol, and then they'll achieve a really nice water supply.
It's not a bad process. Like
Yeah.
brewing high gravity and diluting.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
technically,
yeah.
what they'll do is they'll take the ethanol, repass it through their still,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the last bit of clarification of it, and then the water back.
Yeah.
Fred has confirmed that's what he did.
High gravity brew, I think.
Oh,
What I said.
Yeah, high gravity diluted.
I think it's a really good way to do a beer on a commercial setting because you get a lot more products.
Sure.
Homebrew, maybe it was just trying to do
Playing
a new
around, man.
process, which is really cool.
Yeah, Fred's
but
Fred's
fine.
not into stuff
Is that
like
what
that.
I don't-
He always does some weird shit.
So he
I
gets
don't-
always flag, yeah.
I don't dislike this beer.
Yeah. All right, well done, Fred. I like it. I like it.
All right, well, let's, I mean, he does have two, so let's, I mean, we have the paper out.
We have
You might as
a
well.
little beer here, Fred.
No.
Corn grits.
Yeah, we're using, so I know a lot about grits being from the South, so,
Where in North Carolina are you from, actually?
Statesville, so right north of Charlotte, like, between, like, Asheville's here, Charlotte's here, I'm like,
So me and Katie, my wife, we just
I'm just gonna put him here. I'm not trying to be rude.
yeah, yeah.
It's easier to
Yeah,
handle.
it was like, yeah, Boone was where I used to buy weed all the time. Sorry, Mom and Dad.
we went and bought a 1985 Volkswagen Westfalia camper van.
So, in case, I don't know if you ever remember
You
it,
bought
but
it?
Fred Schultz is the guy, he used to have a poster on the wall that said beers of flavor.
It's in our bathroom.
Fred Schultz.
We had that here.
Beer flavors of day.
Yeah.
What is this?
The person in that photo is
It
Fred
got
Schultz.
stolen. We had it up here. Someone stole it.
I think I literally had 1,000 of them. I'll bring you guys.
This is called,
You know.
And that was from when he was on, he like called it on Howard Stern. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel some sort of way saying this word, but it's called cornball mom.
Cornball mom.
Mom?
Cornball.
Cornball mom. I feel like there's some inside joke there.
I don't know,
It's
maybe.
the first time I've heard this.
Cornball mom.
Oh,
You know, like
Robert,
a silly
So I
mom.
don't know what grits are. You have to fill me in.
So grits are,
I mean, I've eaten them, but like
So
what?
do you know what hominy is? All right, so what's the Mexican word starts with an X? So they get a hard corn, not like a normal like Jersey corn. It's a hard corn, and then they soak it in lye, and the lye puffs it up,
Gotcha.
and it breaks down some of the enzymes. It breaks down the hard shell, and then they will dehydrate it and create something called hominy, and then they grind it up, and it's like a cornmeal.
Well, you guys are the right guy,
Grits
didn't you?
are great to mix with flour for your pizza making.
Really?
For like shaking.
I just mixed up a bigot for my
Uh,
doughs on Saturday.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, what kind of beer is it?
What kind of beers?
What kind of beer is this?
American Golden Pilsner.
Thank you.
Corn grits. 40%. So
That makes, I mean, you know, it's
Working
corn.
hard on
Yeah.
the
I mean, ultimately, this is just bourbon mash.
it's corn lager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
This
I'm
is
just
bourbon
wondering-
mash and hops added.
I'm just
Man,
wondering
good,
if
though.
40% grits, would that dip in the mash tun? Like, that just sounds like a mess.
Yeah, right.
Like, it sounds like a layer of
You can do
concrete.
500
Yeah,
of it, but
yeah,
yeah.
It says it's intended
500.
to look corny, but it just looks like a nice beer. Like I wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, that's a corn.
I mean, it's definitely got a corn color to it, right?
Well,
It's
yeah.
yellow as hell.
I don't know.
on that.
You gotta think like yellow corn.
I wouldn't
like,
look at that and say, oh, I
again,
got
not Jersey.
Not Jersey corn.
That's
I mean, you taste it.
I like that a lot.
You taste the corn. It's there. It's in there.
You're whispering now.
You taste the corn, man.
Oh yeah,
It's in there.
Well, I like that. That's super clean.
It's great.
It's like it's nice
I could
cream
pound the
ale.
hell out of
I
that.
get more cream ale than anything out of this.
Oh, Fred, it's a little creepy, but I was watching you and your family through the window the other night.
No context. Yeah.
That's all your family.
I hope they're well. They seem well.
He lives right around the corner.
Were you drinking?
I love High Life, and
Just
it
like,
kinda gives
I was just looking through the window.
Yeah.
That's a really nice.
I
beer
like
for
this the
a
beer I
American
go to if I want to have like a.
If you want to
I'm trying to have a real good time.
That's a nice hip
Tailgating
to
beer.
it, too.
Very drinkable.
I'm getting Jenny Cream off of this, but that's just me.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
100%.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I kind of like what you're doing with these.
Tone
Fred.
there.
These,
It's like almost there, but it's not a cream ale. But it's
Yeah,
like
no, it's
Right.
nudging along.
What's interesting for like an American light lager is, it's not the easiest beer to brew. You have to make sure everything's really clean and done very correct. But it's sort of like the most popular beer that you can purchase from your beer distributor.
Sure.
And you would think, oh, like that's not a good beer. Like that's not a hard beer to make. But this is quality and it's perfect.
It's a hard
Yeah,
beer to
you
make
don't-
well.
you don't
It
really
is a
get
hard
any-
beer to make.
You don't
Make
really
well,
get, like a lot of times when
Consistency is the name of the game with American light lagers.
a lot of times when people brew something like this, you'll actually get a lot of sulfur from it.
Right, yeah.
Not being right temperatures or
Yeah,
you don't really get any of that.
You probably did like a cereal mash, like doing step temperatures. Do the whole thing, which like breaks down some of the enzymes, like gelatinizes some of the actual corns.
I would ask him. He's right. He's right on love.
Did you do a cereal mash? I mean, because grits is technically cereal.
It's a cereal, yeah.
I saw Fred right before the lockdown.
Awesome beer.
Neighborhood ramen. It's like my last meal. Like,
Neighborhood
out in the
ramen?
city. Yeah.
That's the name of it?
Ramen place in Philly.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
That's the one in Fishtown,
It
right?
was sweet. We were like sort of burning down a really big joint out front. It was great.
What's the time like right now, Nick? What are we looking at?
We're looking at another beer.
About quarter to
Is that
nine.
it?
It's quarter to nine.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then let's do it.
Well, at least two more.
Get your steps in.
Get my stuff.
We'll laugh.
It's funny. This is the guy that lives literally half a block from here.
I told you I had a lot of margaritas.
I got really drink so much. Yeah.
When I live 4 blocks.
Yeah. Me and Chris got the long haul tonight.
I live farther away than you guys do.
3 miles.
Yeah, I live in Blackwood. I go
Why are
on.
you in New Jersey? It's all the same.
We've got laws. We have laws, Nick.
All right, so this one's fun. This is a fun label. It's a very small label, but there's a lot of words on it. It's called "Careful with That Axe, Eugene."
Oh, awesome.
That's a cool name.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that okay? So
It's Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a triple DH IPA.
Dry hop.
I already like it so much. I'm so biased.
7.2 ABV.
Double penetrated device.
Whoa.
Hey now.
Pearl Pilsner, flake oats, Strata Zappa hops with Blue Dream marijuana terpenes.
Yeah.
By Steven Steinberg.
What?
There we go.
Yeah.
Got the terpenes going on.
Can we,
Turks.
Could you put Dark Side of the Moon on for us?
Well, give me a minute. I'll let it sync up.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe
That won't
next
put us
time
off
because
YouTube or anything.
I don't know if we know how to do that yet.
Have you
I'll just sing it.
brewed with
That'd be
terps?
great.
Lunatic.
I haven't.
Like
My buddies who I used to brew
Dark Side of the Moon on the
with
background?
before out
No,
there
we will get kicked off of YouTube.
are now brewing.
It's the DMCA, man. Yeah, they're wild with that shit.
I know, like
But they're doing
Whoa.
oh, okay, interesting.
So they're like, the smell of that.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
So I had my first weed terpene beer out in Nashville.
oh,
When we
really?
were out there. It was what was those guys? Oh, Jake wasn't there.
Oh, that's right. You've seen
Southern
it.
Grist, I think was the name of the brew.
Something wrist.
Southern
Yeah.
Grist.
Yeah. I've seen
And
that.
it was awesome. I was like, this is so great.
So terpenes are ultimately, yeah.
I'm still trying to get past the nose of
I
it.
get hops. Yeah, sure.
I get a little. I mean, it smells like
So-
It smells like you got an IPA, like a big New England IPA in your face and a bag of weed in your pocket.
Sounds like a good night to me.
I mean, you get a little bit in the background.
More terps.
Who brewed this?
This was Steven Steinberg.
Okay.
You do taste a little bit. You taste a little bit of that greenness in there.
Well, terpenes are strictly.
Blue dream marijuana terpenes.
Oh, he was very clear on that. Like, we're not hiding that.
Yeah. This was grown in his basement.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You do taste it. I do
So
taste it.
terpenes like what is there? There's like 12 of them.
No, there's
There's dozens and dozens.
Is there
Yeah.
really? I thought there's like a pie chart.
That's just the ones they want you to know about, man.
No.
he knows.
Yeah.
That's why I produced the show.
But basically, they're accentuating the flavor. There's
Right,
not
exactly.
like THC
Yeah, there's
stepping
a-
on this.
yeah,
They're like
they're
the
like
essential
THC, yeah,
oils.
yeah.
They're the flavor compounds.
Cool.
Because I mean, and it goes to hops and cannabis are
Sister
cousin
plants,
plants.
Yeah.
So they produce some of a lot of the same oils that create the flavor compounds that we all love, and that's
Yeah.
terpene. It's just in it, like is that flavor.
Yeah. So like you said, it's the
Flavor
essential
aroma.
oil. Like, yeah.
You say we all love. I think there's only really 3 at the table that really love it. The one just gets scared of it all the time.
No, I love the smell of it.
Hops.
I mean, yeah.
If I smoke weed, I get all freaked out.
It's so paranoid.
You're not smoking right.
I wouldn't keep
Yeah,
saying this.
there you go. Yeah.
No,
It's sativa, babe. It's sativa.
it doesn't even matter. No.
Oh no! Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And like every time, I used to mess with them all the time. Like you would have to like work the store during like a snow day, and I'd stop by the store and smoke a joint with them, and I'd be like, "All right, I'm leaving."
That was on Christmas Eve.
That sounds like a great time.
That was years ago, but
I think he's still scarred. Yeah.
oh yeah, I know, yeah.
So I think it's good. I think I don't really get any like character one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think it could definitely be more pronounced.
Like you're
If
gonna do
it.
a terpene thing, like let's do it.
If you're gonna do it, go do it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Balls.
So that the haze that it has isn't like a normal beer haze to me. Like, so terpenes aren't they typically an oil compound?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
they are.
right.
I think some volatile.
So I
volatile
mean, it
flavor.
almost looks like you might make fun of me for saying this, but it almost looks like an emulsification haze, right? Like the oil has blended. I mean, it doesn't look like a grain haze.
Well, it looks like a good ace.
Yeah.
I would say that's.
I think I know what you mean.
I know
Do
it.
you?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I can't really get
Almost like a touch of
either
separation.
like enough hop or enough. Of the
It's towing the
terpene.
line, and
It's
you gotta
like-
pick a
It's
side.
kind yeah, like
It definitely has a unique flavor to it. It has kind of like a green flavor to
It
it.
does, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I can taste it there. And it drinks well in the sense if you're trying to hide it, where you don't want it to be too pronounced. So you can kind of fear these back. Where if it was over pronounced, I think I would be like one and done.
Yeah.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
like, is it Terrapin that makes the 420 beer? In Eugene, Oregon.
Sure.
no, they're
There's a
terpenes in
no.
Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia. Yeah, I think they have a couple 420 beers that just literally open up the store.
And I'm not saying that I advocate for that either.
Right. Yeah.
But-
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, like this is it was just kind of like there.
This
Yeah, there's
sounds
nothing
this is
wrong with
middle of
it.
the road.
Like, yeah,
This doesn't scream
There's nothing wrong.
anything.
Before you opened it, I thought very extreme beer. I didn't get much extremity in any direction.
Yeah.
I would have liked to
that's
have
a good way
like
to
a
put it.
really intense aroma,
Yeah.
or just like straight up CBD and actually like feel it.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
two. This is too middle of the road. Yeah, that's it. That's free.
You can just bypass.
I
the
think that's
CBD,
illegal.
go
But
right
yeah, if
to
you
the-
guys are homebrewing it, and these
Full
guys don't care
spectrum.
about it.
Nick. Full spectrum.
Well, I mean, we're in Jersey. It is legal here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if alcohol is THC.
I mean, that's not completely passed through.
What are you, a
So
nut?
it is.
Yeah, but not for like dispensaries.
Oh no, you can carry it around though.
Bags
You
all
can't mix it with
I'm riding dirty, baby.
You can't mix it with alcohol though. That's not really that.
Where's my?
Well, I mean,
Joint, yeah, that's
In a production sense.
spark it up.
if it's a homebrew.
Oh, I left in my
I mean, I'm
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not selling it.
you
I'm not selling it to Roy Pitz.
It is fully legal in Jersey, but they just haven't set up the
No dispensary.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It'll take them like 100 years.
Yeah.
But I like where his head's at.
Well, they need to drain all the money they can.
ingredients to add to a beer, and man, that style's just gonna go to the moon.
Yeah, yeah, it's a cool idea. Be a little more aggressive with it.
Let's do one
You
more.
can totally use
one more.
marijuana,
Yeah.
THC, CBD, all the flavonoids to make really awesome beer. I think in the next like 10 years, I think it's legislation's going to open up, and we're going to have some really brand new styles that in like 100 years are going to be classics.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of room for that, and
But
like it's always been kind of tainted for me because like it's always been a homebrew sense, and it's never really been done very well. But now, like you can experiment with it without having to worry too much.
that's so nice. And you got to
Same
think
label.
about like classic
Label
styles.
over
Like,
label.
how could you ever make like a new style of beer right now?
Yeah.
You know, like every's been already taken care of.
Rosemary,
That
saison.
potentially.
To give you guys a little bit of
A lot of room.
background on that beer, he says 1.5 milliliters terpene in that 5-gallon batch.
very, very low.
Maybe use 3. Just saying.
Well, I don't know. I kind of liked it, to be honest with you.
I use it too. I did not like it. It's just
It just depends on what you're going for. If
Yeah.
you're going for like the,
Yeah, they're not cheap.
if you're going for
Unless you
like,
know a guy. Unless you know a guy. I don't know.
if you're going for like the super unique, I want this to be like a showcase single beer. Then yeah, go big, go balls to the wall. But if you're looking for something that you
Clean
can
flavor.
drink a 6-pack of, then that's the level you probably want to be at.
it's cool because
Doesn't go well.
it kind of does like linger a little bit, even like after like now.
Yeah, it's all
just,
there.
I get that like Blue Dream still like
Yeah.
because that Blue Dream is like from a cannabis consumer perspective, it's like one of the best like aromatic like smelling and like it's just an awesome shit. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I've never even heard of it. I'm
it has that
I'm
lingering
such
Blue
a
Dream character
sticker.
in my mouth.
I'm not mad about it.
I back in the day when I was young, it was always like good weed was just kind of.
Yeah, that's how it was.
That was the
That's how it
explanation
was.
of it.
Give me the KB or you want the shake? What do you
Yeah.
got?
Dank was the word.
Dan came in after.
That was later though.
Yeah, so they don't.
That had to be.
What are you? What'd you pour? What'd you pour? in?
Rosemary saison from Paul.
Here, you throw this in the clear to can.
Drop it on in there.
This is gonna be.
I'll straighten it out.
It's gonna be
Paul,
mine.
I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your name.
That's why I give it to you because your last name is equally as.
But his last name's not weird. I don't know.
His last name's Tonewood.
Chilasticari.
Chilastry.
I think he's right. Yeah, he sounds right. I think you're right.
That was definitely right.
Chilastry.
Yeah.
They're close friends.
You know.
So is that Polish?
Oh yeah.
Is that Russian?
We got the Crick saison.
Speaking of close friends, have we had any comments about his shiny forehead yet?
Not yet.
They didn't log in. That's too bad.
Oh, you're friends.
That's a first lead.
At least Nick got it.
That's good. So Rosemary's one of my favorite beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes great.
Right beside marijuana.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Okay, I guess that's you're taking that
I'll
one.
be
That's
making
fine.
some rosemary.
Oh, this is nice.
It smells great. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I never even thought about using rosemary.
That like wheat.
It's so aromatic. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
Last
What's it?
For sure.
Fucking,
You hear that, Paul?
Flying-
so if
Flying
you
fish
do that, is Paul going to get a free beer when he comes?
Paul will get free beer if I do a rosemary beer. Paul, yeah.
There you go.
Wait. Just
Paul,
say
you've done good.
Dave
This is
free
nice.
Dave.
It's one single freebie.
And that one free beer is the size of a
we got.
You can mash out. And
That's got a really interesting notes.
Yeah.
Like it's
You
not
get the banana clove,
Yeah.
but then you get a little bit of that
rosemary.
rosemary.
Yeah, it's not like a punch in the face rosemary.
Hey, Jimmy.
But yeah.
it's dry, so it's gone. Like
Jimmy.
experience it and then down the gullet.
That's
I love
really good.
rosemary. I'm
like-
curious.
Paul, it's
Oh, all right. Not going with that
to be
one.
honest, I've never had
All right, never
rosemary beer, and I love rosemary.
That's
Like
great.
cooking at my house and like making pizza.
Flying Fish did a really good rosemary.
Yeah,
a few years ago.
I don't think I've ever had rosemary.
Yeah, it was nice. It was like one of the like you had to go there and get it ones. It was good.
Have you ever had the pizza beer? The pizza beer?
Yeah. Pizza beer.
It's literally called the pizza beer, and it's got like it's a white label, red text, and I think it's got like a guide on pizza in the air, and it's made with tomatoes, basil, oregano, and it's like
That's really good.
All right.
it is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, like
All right.
you put it to your nose. Like I always smell beer a lot before I drink it.
Oh yeah.
And you put it to your nose, and you get like the banana, you get the rosemary, you get a little bit of clove in there from the yeast. When you taste it, like the flavors come along with it. A lot less on the banana and the flavor.
I'd like to hear,
Right.
Paul, if you're on the stream here, how you added the rosemary. Was this Whirlpool? Was this Ferment?
I've done the secondary and have good results with it before.
In the ferment.
Yeah, I did the cranberry rosemary
Yeah.
with James Holland from Barley Legal. Actually, we brewed it together. It was very good.
Yeah.
It works really well in a beer. Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
nice.
worked really well. So that's a little bit of bitterness from it that you can taste from the herb, but it kind of
It's nice.
works with the beer. It almost works like a bitter and hop.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's why so the pizza beer. It's using all these like oregano, tomatoes, basil, and it's like
Sounds gross.
it does. It sounds horrible.
Sorry.
It sounds absolutely horrible. And then I bought it as a joke. I mean, at Canals like down the road. It's kind of a big time beer. And I opened it and I tasted it. And it was like this. It's like
You're like, oh,
you could see these. It didn't taste like
Yeah.
pizza flavored pretzels, or it's like oh, this is a beer with just the smallest notes.
The pizza's implied, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is like I don't like rosemary. Rosemary is like one of my
This
Yeah.
fuck this guy.
you're crazy.
fucking raspberry,
Rosemary.
That's where you get a raspberry, like
I
rosemary.
like everything else.
Dude, I'm brewing one next week. I'm doing a raspberry.
We're called the Jimmy.
Yeah.
The Jimmy.
You gotta make a raspberry rosemary beer.
Yeah, what's your least favorite style of beer, though? So we can really tighten
No,
up
so
something.
let me rephrase.
That's good right there. That's your style.
Yeah, I don't dislike. I mean, I don't hate rosemary. I hate raspberry flavored stuff. But rosemary's like one of those just very gentle. Like, I don't
Oh,
want,
yeah.
I don't want like sprigs.
But
of
this is
rosemary.
definitely gentle. This is not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This is kind of like.
I'm gonna make you my.
39%.
So my wife makes the signature pizza night. We both have pizza ovens.
Yeah.
And
Right.
It's called the Rosa,
Ooh.
and it's a rosemary pizza.
Well, yeah, but like it's probably not like huge amount.
There's a lot of rosemary.
Okay.
I think
I've
I've never met one person that's had it. We've had hundreds of people that have had it. Everyone that's had it says it's the best pizza flavor.
Wait,
I mean, I love
I'm
rosemary.
confused. You had hundreds of people.
No one's
but
not
one of them
like
is not me.
I know. That's why I'm saying I want you to have it. So
I think you need to have an Oaklyn pizza battle.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
How do we actually do that?
They don't live very far away either.
I know, but
I can walk there with my nose.
I mean, we'll borrow a pizza bag from these cats over here, man. We'll make it work.
does the oven actually matter though? If you're making your oven or your oven?
No.
Oh, well, that made
that's what
this
it is
so
about
easy.
beer.
All right, I don't see how it can't.
I mean, but is it really 1,000 degrees? You set oven.
Yes.
I go for 800.
And see, it's not 1,000. Does that make a difference?
Yes. It would. I mean, but mine's not always a
The
thousand.
Rosa.
What's that? Are you an anchovy guy?
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
What?
What?
Anchovies
Not
are
really.
It's not the best, but it's great.
Anchovies are the best things on pizza.
My dad and
Neither
mom
is
love
chocolate.
anchovies.
You gotta work them in the food
They're more
process.
Italian than
Yeah,
I
there's
am.
one with
sauce.
capers and
Ooh,
stuff.
yeah, so I like
But
what
I think with that we might be digressing on the
Yeah, we are hitting the end of the podcast.
All right.
Or not, this isn't even a podcast, it's a live stream.
Well, I think that's your cue to exit.
Video cast, so, that's time.
Beers are great.
Yeah, beers were amazing.
Those were good beers, right?
Thanks for
Keep
hosting
sending
us.
those
Like,
beers, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it was a little muddy.
That was too bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
I'm glad when the new place is actually opening, we'll definitely
Yeah, we'll have to
reschedule
go down
one
there
over
pretty
there.
soon. Hopefully
Yeah.
in the next couple months.
Cool.
We'll be down there.
Do you have any main distributors in Philly that they can pick up some Tonewood beers?
Beer distributors?
Yeah.
All the good
You
ones.
said you were with Nebulous. Do you know where like
All
any
major
bars and-
distributors in the Philadelphia County region.
Go on there and
major
tell.
distributors
Go on there and
in
tell.
Philadelphia County.
And I guess your flagship is Fuego.
Fuego, we got Freshies out there.
Yep. Which is good. Sells a little ski reference.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That lager in that can right there, that's great. What's the name of that one? But
Woodland Lager, that's out in the world.
you want to switch the 30 can?
Yeah, give me a second here. By the way, the big cans do not fit on the clarity can. Nah, don't. Nah, you just. Yeah.
Not clear at all.
I guess
Hold on, give me a sec.
Philadelphia Beer Company. That's like the
The one in Fishtown?
or over by the staff room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right beside your house.
PBC,
Yeah.
Philadelphia Brewing Company.
No, not the
No.
brewery. The
Beer
one
store.
on York Street.
Oh, on York Street.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Philadelphia
Yeah.
Brewing Company.
Yeah, they're always got our stuff.
But either way, it's like literally across the wall. And it's
Yeah, I would just recommend.
Come to the
I
townhouse.
recommend
It's awesome.
coming directly here.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
you said, they're opening tomorrow for inside and outside seating. They always have cans to go. You can even order on their website.
I've done it.
Order
It's easy.
pickup. Every
Super
time I get some type of delivery thing I gotta bring to the store here, I always find myself over here buying beer.
It's a very easy drive from Philadelphia. I was shocked how
Oh,
easy
yeah.
it is to get here.
And I guess with that, we should probably plug ourselves too, because we're in the
Right.
same building.
We are in the same building. We literally are in the same. We share a hallway.
Yeah. So if you come to Philly Homebrew, I mean, it's the same building. So like, grab some stuff from us, grab some stuff from them, and do your thing.
Yeah, go back over the bridge, and then go stop at our West Philly store on your way back.
Buy some more. Buy more
Dude,
stuff.
More stuff.
I forgot. Oh.
I remember going to the
I
West.
forgot something.
I remember telling I go to the West Philly store like really early on, and we bought like 20 cakes for you guys.
Yeah.
The good old party kegs. We actually just got a fresh shipment of those. So if you're looking for party kegs, stop on by.
Yeah, we go. Well, hey, thanks
for
for
hanging.
tuning in. Yeah.
Thanks for making with us, guys.
Thanks for bringing us, Eli. Thanks for having us here. And look out for us next month. Next month we have another special guest that we hinted about earlier. You're just going to have to rewind and find out who that was.
Send your sour beer. Peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah.